Imagine yourself seated in a pitch-black room. Only the faint whisper of a breeze filters through the window, and the chill of midnight creeps across your skin. You gaze upward at the star-strewn sky, and suddenly, a quiet question arises in your mind: does the soul truly exist? If it does, when the final breath departs the body, where do we flow? Is it rebirth into new forms, or do we fade silently into the void like stars in the vast cosmos? If the soul does not exist, then what drives your actions at this moment? Is it merely the biological brain concealed within a fragile corporeal shell? Yet, science has demonstrated that the portions of the body you can control are exceedingly limited. More than 90% of activities occur unconsciously. The heartbeat echoes rhythmically like a drum in an abyss, breathing caresses like waves upon a shore, all unfolding in the obscurity of the subconscious. Thus, that I, of which you are so proud, is it truly you? Or is it merely an illusion, like mist obscuring reality? I shall guide you on this journey, much as a companion shares tales by a campfire, where flickering flames illuminate the shadowed recesses of the soul. We shall explore through scientific experiments, encounter chilling true accounts, and venture ultimately into the expansive universe. There, Earth is but a solitary speck of dust. This is not intended to frighten you, but to awaken curiosity about yourself, about the enigmas of life, and about the secrets whispered by the universe in the pulsations of time. Let us commence from the moment you open your eyes each morning. In that instant, a familiar sensation surges forth: I am myself, I reside in this body, and the surrounding world is real. Yet this certainty is not an innate instinct. It is an intricate illusion crafted by the brain, akin to an artist rendering reality with blurred strokes. You have never perceived the true world, only edited it in your own manner. Do you doubt this? Recall a nightmare, fleeing through unseen shadows, the heart pounding like thunder. Or inebriation, when walls swirl like oceanic vortices. Even a severe blow to the head can induce hallucinations, blurred figures darting past. These are moments when the brain's editing system falters, cracking the walls of reality and revealing the fragility of the I. So, when does this illusion of self utterly collapse? We trace back decades, accompanying scientists into the depths of the brain's secrets. In the 1930s and 1940s, the pioneering neurosurgeon Wilder Penfield astonished the medical community through experiments on patients with epilepsy. During operations, he employed electrodes to probe functional areas of the brain, aiming to avoid damaging critical regions. One day, while stimulating the temporal lobe cortex, a patient exclaimed, "Someone is standing behind me." The operating theater was empty save for doctors and nurses, all documented by cameras. Yet the patient was more convinced of that presence than of the information conveyed by eyes and ears. Penfield paused. How could this grey mass of neural cells, weighing approximately 1.4 kilograms, fabricate the existence of another? This question has perplexed scientists for decades. Today, stimulating similar brain regions can replicate that eerie experience. Even in complete solitude, one senses a presence lingering nearby. Recent advancements, as detailed in a 2025 study published in the journal Brain Stimulation, have built upon Penfield's work by incorporating non-invasive techniques such as transcranial magnetic stimulation, which allows for safer replication of these effects in healthy volunteers. Furthermore, investigations into temperature measurements during electrode stimulation in human brain phantoms, conducted across independent imaging centers in 2025, have refined our understanding of radiofrequency heating factors, ensuring more precise and ethical explorations of temporal lobe responses. However, science has not halted there. Envision a device resembling a motorcycle helmet, lined internally with electromagnetic coils. This is the God helmet, devised in the 1980s by neuroscientist Michael Persinger. The procedure is straightforward. Participants are secluded in a darkened chamber, don the helmet, and weak magnetic fields are directed at the temporal lobes. The outcomes have unnerved many. Some perceive an invisible presence, others experience profound bliss amidst laughter and tears, even claiming dialogues with divine entities on philosophical matters of life. Persinger discerned that the temporal lobes not only govern memory and emotion but also delineate the boundaries between I and other. They function like a firewall safeguarding the self. When magnetic fields intervene, the boundaries crumble, and the brain fabricates another to fill inexplicable voids. Yet the device's limitation lies in the variability of results, sometimes manifesting, sometimes not. Persinger and subsequent researchers have shown that individuals with heightened temporal lobe sensitivity are more prone to spiritual phenomena, akin to anxiety preceding a storm. Past experiences also play a role. If anomalous events were interpreted as divine interventions from childhood, the brain defaults to such explanations. Conversely, realists might conclude, my brain is malfunctioning. Despite this, the scientific community has critiqued it as potentially a placebo effect or psychological suggestion, with some replication studies failing to yield consistent outcomes. A 2025 investigation employing advanced magnetic field technologies has linked temporal lobe sensitivity to genetic factors, such as variations in genes regulating neurotransmitter receptors, further substantiating the biological underpinnings of these experiences and suggesting potential hereditary predispositions to mystical perceptions. Delving deeper, we lose ourselves in the labyrinth of the brain. How does the brain forge the self? And if the self can wander detached from the body, what ensues? In 2002, Olaf Blomke's startling experiment propelled us forward. During epilepsy surgery, he inadvertently inserted an electrode into the temporoparietal junction, situated approximately 2 centimeters behind the ear at the upper region. As a faint current flowed, the patient declared, "I am floating and looking down at my own body." She vividly described the surgeons, nurses, and machinery in the operating theater. Blomke was astounded. With the current activated, the soul seemed to depart. Deactivated, it returned, as simple as switching a light. The patient asserted the sensation felt more real than reality itself. We regard inhabiting the body as an unquestionable truth, yet the experiment proves it is merely a program installed by the brain, rewritable by a few millivolts of current. Blomke realized the temporoparietal junction serves as the brain's global positioning system, integrating visual, tactile, and auditory inputs to map the body's location. When the system errs, the I drifts formlessly. Statistics indicate that 5 to 10% of the population experiences at least one out-of-body episode, typically during extreme fatigue, profound fear, or semi-sleep states, when the brain's positional system gravely malfunctions. Blomke concluded, the out-of-body experience is not the anomaly, feeling anchored in the body daily is the true peculiarity. Ponder this, why is your consciousness affixed to this flesh? It is no coincidence but an illusion the brain labors to sustain every moment. A 2025 follow-up study utilizing functional magnetic resonance imaging has confirmed that the temporoparietal junction activates similar mechanisms during meditation and virtual reality simulations. Extending the scientific explanation of out-of-body experiences to include psychedelic-induced states, such as those modulated by psilocybin, which alters effective connectivity in this region and enhances the sense of disembodiment. Concluding the narrative of detachment, we turn to something more uncanny, consciousness not merely soaring but rending itself asunder. A single mind harboring two independent I-s. In the 1960s, Roger Spey severed the corpus callosum, the bridge linking the brain's left and right hemispheres, in patients with severe epilepsy. The surgery succeeded, eliminating seizures, but side effects emerged. Within one body, two autonomous consciousnesses arose. For instance, the right hand drew a circle while the left sketched a square simultaneously, without conflict. When queried about dreams, the left hemisphere, governing language, responded, painter, while the right, nonverbal, scrawled, racing driver, with the hand. This revelation shook the scientific world. If consciousness divides so readily, the unified self is but a jest. Their subsequent lives were bizarre. One hand slapped the other, one fastened buttons, the other unfastened them, one lifted a glass of water, the other hurled it away. Most intriguingly, the left hemisphere perpetually rationalized the right's actions, the right grasped an apple, and the left proclaimed, I desire to eat an apple. the brain deceives itself to preserve a false coherence. A 2025 retrospective analysis of additional split-brain patients has illuminated the modular nature of consciousness, potentially inspiring the development of multi-consciousness systems in artificial intelligence, where independent modules could collaborate or conflict in simulated environments, mirroring human neural resilience even with minimal fiber connections. Now you may inquire, if consciousness can soar and split, what occurs when it is sampled with a potent substance? Dimethyltryptamine, the spirit molecule. Our bodies produce trace amounts, but external ingestion is unlawful and may cause permanent harm. From a research perspective, dimethyltryptamine is unique. Upon inhalation, one is hurled into another dimension, teeming with entities communicating through colors and geometric shapes. Most eerily, disparate individuals behold identical entities, termed machine elves, irrespective of culture. In the 1990s, Rick Strassman conducted the first controlled experiments. Volunteers described being drawn through tunnels, conversing with crystalline beings, and merging with the cosmos. Brain imaging reveals dimethyltryptamine disrupts orderly brain regions, suppressing the default mode network that generates the self, while wildly linking visual, auditory, and memory areas. The firewall collapses, flooding filtered information. A more uncanny experiment in 2021 involved presenting laser interference patterns to dimethyltryptamine users. Many described identical codes of reality, repeating symbols. If mere hallucination, why fabricate the same? Does dimethyltryptamine attune the brain to hidden frequencies? This remains hypothetical. Recent studies from 2023 to 2025, led by researchers including Danny Nemu and others, have combined dimethyltryptamine with laser explorations of the reality code phenomenon, proposing it as a means for the brain to access deeper structures of existence. An additional 2025 study has demonstrated that inhaled dimethyltryptamine provides rapid and enduring relief for treatment-resistant depression by promoting neural plasticity, even showing potential in aiding recovery post-stroke through enhanced neurogenesis and synaptic remodeling, akin to rebooting a computational system. Clinical trials in 2025 have expanded its application in mental health, revealing its capacity to reset brain circuits and foster long-term adaptive changes. Now we pivot to near-death experiences. This is a global phenomenon, adhering to a similar script, floating above one's form, traversing a tunnel of light, encountering beings suffused with love, and receiving life revelations. A classic case, in 1991, Pam Reynolds underwent high-risk brain surgery where blood was drained, body temperature lowered to 15 degrees Celsius, and the heart halted. Medically, she was deceased. Her eyes were taped shut, ears plugged with noise-emitting devices, brain waves flatlined. Yet upon revival, she precisely described the procedure, the bone saw resembling an electric toothbrush, surgeon's dialogues, the playing of Hotel California, and the femoral artery being too small, prompting a plan alteration. Physicians confirmed these details unknown to non-professionals. Anita Morjani escaped terminal cancer, encountering luminous beings who assured her return would heal her. Weeks later, tumors vanished. Medicine cannot explain it. Dutch cardiologist Pim van Lommel studied 344 cardiac arrest survivors. 18% reported near-death experiences, consistently recounting tales from other rooms or knowledge of unlearned languages. Debates rage. Science attributes it to oxygen deprivation or dimethyltryptamine release-inducing hallucinations. Religion views it as evidence of soul departure. Tibetan Buddhism's Bardo or the Egyptian Book of the Dead depict tunnels mirroring modern near-death experiences. Coincidence? The AWARE-2 study, spanning 2023 to 2026, has revealed heightened brain activity at death, suggesting consciousness may intensify. A supplementary 2025 study underscores links between near-death experiences and anomalous dream phenomena, such as lucid dreaming, precognitive dreams, and out-of-body dreams, recommending support consultations for survivors. Employing electroencephalography, 2025 researchers discovered brain wave patterns during near-death akin to deep meditation, further implying consciousness may expand under extreme conditions, potentially accessing non-local information. Finally, we arrive at the core inquiry: can consciousness persist without a brain? An extreme perspective: consciousness is a fundamental cosmic attribute, like gravity. The brain does not generate consciousness but receives it, like a radio capturing wavelengths. Roger Penrose and Stuart Hameroff's orchestrated objective reduction theory posits consciousness arises from quantum vibrations in brain microtubules, capable of existing extracorporeally. 2025 updates correlate this theory with consciousness complexity indices, where quantum computing elucidates consciousness's non-classical traits, supported by proofs of wave function collapse on superconducting quantum computers that align with the theory's predictions. Panpsychism asserts consciousness pervades everywhere, from elementary particles to the cosmos. 2025 advancements propose proto-panpsychism, debating consciousness as an intrinsic property of matter, bridging quantum panprotopsychism where experimental precursors form the basis of reality. Giulio Tononi's integrated information theory models consciousness as integrated information, applicable to any system. The 2025 iteration of Integrated Information Theory 4.0 emphasizes the geometric structure of consciousness, suggesting extracerebral systems, even quantum ones, may harbor it, extending to universal scales and implying consciousness could exist in cosmic structures. From experiments to phenomena, consciousness soars, splits, and endures beyond brain cessation, evidencing the I as a fragment of greater consciousness. Your essence surpasses the cosmos. Yet how vast is that cosmos? If Earth is a remote wilderness, where precisely are our coordinates? Commence from home, Earth, diameter approximately 12,742 kilometers, the sole locus of your life's entirety, the only observed cradle of life and civilization. The Earth-Moon system, the Moon at 384,400 kilometers, stabilizing the axial tilt to avert climatic chaos. The Solar System, from Mercury to Mars, the asteroid belt, ranging 0.39 to 1.52 astronomical units. The heliosphere, a bubble of solar wind, radius 120 to 160 astronomical units. In 2012, Voyager 1 traversed into interstellar space. The Oort cloud, a spherical shell, radius 1 light-year, harboring trillions of icy bodies, the Sun's gravitational boundary. The local interstellar cloud, entered by the Solar System 44,000 years ago, diameter 30 light-years, primarily neutral hydrogen. The local bubble, a cavity of hot plasma, width 1,000 light-years, remnant of past supernovae. The Gould belt, a ring of young stars, diameter 3,000 light-years, encompassing about 1 million blue stars. The Orion arm, the Solar System's spiral arm, length exceeding 25,000 light-years, the Milky Way's outer edge, stable and evading supernovae and gamma-ray bursts. The Milky Way, diameter 100,000 light-years, 2 to 400 billion stars, centered on Sagittarius A, a supermassive black hole of 4 million solar masses. We have never beheld the Milky Way's full form, only a faint silvery band in the night sky. The local group, Milky Way, Andromeda, Triangulum, diameter 10 million light-years. The Virgo supercluster, 100 galaxy groups, diameter 110 million light-years, tens of thousands of Milky Ways. Laniakea supercluster, 100,000 galaxies, with 520 million light-years. The Perseus-Pisces supercluster complex, a vast filament, length 1 billion light-years. The observable universe, diameter 93 billion light-years, 2 trillion galaxies. Here, the Milky Way is no speck of dust, Earth is a quantum flicker amid cosmic noise. Studies from 2024 to 2026 indicate the universe may be asymmetric. The matter dipole exceeds predictions, challenging the standard model. This cosmic dipole anomaly suggests cosmic inhomogeneity, emphasizing our position, from local cloud, Oort cloud, Gould belt, Orion arm, Milky Way, local group, Virgo supercluster, Laniakea, Perseus-Pisces complex, to observable universe. Why here, perfectly suited for consciousness to burgeon? As in orchestrated objective reduction and allied theories, consciousness may birth in quanta, transferring post-death to other universes. On social media, scientists like Pim van Lommel discuss near-death experiences as proof of extracerebral consciousness, while Earth's local debates underscore our solitude yet rarity. A 2025 cosmological discovery unveiled massive cosmic filaments where galaxies rotate synchronously, hinting at concealed orderly patterns in universal structure, fueling speculations of greater cosmic intelligence. Moreover, the James Webb Space Telescope in 2024 detected the longest black hole jet, spanning 23 million light-years, reminding us of veiled potent forces in the cosmos. Another finding, ancient heavy black holes via the Gaia satellite, implying early universe formation swifter than anticipated. These advancements deepen the universe's mystery, prompting wonder: if consciousness is cosmic fundamental, do our souls echo in these expansive structures? From experiments to cosmos, we conclude, reality is a brain-edited illusion. The I readily crumbles. Consciousness may be cosmic fundamental. Death is merely a server switch. Yet this is reasoning from scattered fragments. Humanity's grasp of consciousness is but the iceberg's tip. At this moment, you listen. But if the I is a brain-forged tale, who listens? Where hides your true essence? Contemplate deeply, let curiosity lead. In this enigmatic universe, answers may reside within you. Finally, extend profound gratitude to the scientists and researchers mentioned in this journey, and their collective endeavors. Wilder Penfield, Michael Persinger, Olaf Blonke, Roger Spey, Rick Strassman, Danny Nemu, Pam Reynolds, Anita Morjani, Pim van Lommel, Roger Penrose, Stuart Harmooff, Giulio Tononi, and the Aware 2 research team, all merit sincere respect for their dedication, persistent exploration, and silent contributions to knowledge and society. Their work expands human understanding, becoming beacons illuminating cosmic enigmas.